Well, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to your Lake Fort Guide. In today's episode, we're exposing some of the best kept secrets for fall bass fishing in East Texas, including limbo lakes and locations. So if you want to catch more and bigger fish throughout the fall, you might want to check out today's episode.
Is that a big one? Is that a big one? Yes it is. Get out here. What is these best kept secrets that I'm talking about for East Texas fall bass fishing? Well, what goes on is there are certain lakes in East Texas that actually go into pre-spawn mode this time of year throughout the fall. Now, if you've ever fished pre-spawn in East Texas, you know it can be pretty darn special. In fact, usually the very best fishing days of the year happen, as far as numbers of big fish, happen during the pre-spawn. That doesn't happen until like maybe January, certainly February, a little bit in March, then we kind of start spawning. But on some of our lakes, fish actually go through a pre-spawn cycle in October and November. What am I talking about? What I'm talking about is power plant lakes. Lakes that have heated water. Hey, they're dwindling every year. We used to have Lake Monticello. It's gone. It's shut down. We used to have Lake Fairfield. It's no longer a power plant lake. Still a good fishery. But the lakes that do still have hot water running through them, these fish will spawn in December and January. And throughout October, November, these fish will be in pre-spawn mode. Now that makes for some dynamite fishing, because not only do you have fish in a pre-spawn mode where they really want to feed, they're developing eggs and all that, but on top of that, the water temperature is much warmer than typical pre-spawn waters. So what you get is fish that are more active in general, have a higher metabolism because the water is warmer, and on top of that, they're in a pre-spawn mode, and it just makes for this dynamite situation where most days on a power plant lake in the fall are just some unbelievable fishing. The fish are just feeding like crazy. So what we're doing right now, we're actually going down a little bumpy road, so I apologize if the camera's shaking, but we're on our way out to Martin Creek. We're almost to Martin Creek right now. Now, I know everybody knows about Lake Welch. A lot of folks know about Lake Welch. We've filmed a lot of content on Lake Welch over the years. Heck, even the pros, tour pros come out and film on Lake Welch these days. But Martin Creek and Brandy Branch, both of those two lakes, little more off the beaten path, little less exposed. They don't get near the pressure, but man, are they good fisheries. Martin Creek has some big fish in it, but Martin Creek really has a lot of fish in it. Brandy Branch doesn't have quite as many fish in it, it doesn't seem like it's times, but boy, does Brandy Branch have some really big bass. Both lakes this year have a lot of grass. Brandy Branch, the water is typically extremely clear, so if you're a swim baiter, it's a great option. But what we're going to try to do today is we're going to take a trip out here, go try to catch some fish, kind of break down what's going on Martin Creek. We're right here at the end of October, last week of October right now. Show you guys some pre-spawn action from Martin Creek. Then we're going to try and bounce over to Brandy Branch because they're very close to each other. We're going to try to bounce over to Brandy Branch, get a few bites over there, kind of break down what's going on, show you guys the lay of the lake, how the grass is doing, all that stuff, and just basically give you guys one of the really kind of real good secrets out here in East Texas, and that's power plant pre-spawn fishing in October, November, and on top of that, that's Martin Creek and Brandy Branch, which really just don't get near the pressure as a lot of other lakes do and have really good fishing. So let's we're pulling into the Martin Creek Park driveway right now, as you can probably see a little bit. Here, we'll turn the camera around. Ignore my son's pickup placard in the window there, but here we are going down the Martin Creek Road. We're about to pull in here, go get the boat launched, go find some hydrilla, and see if we can't find them gorillas that live in it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Mercer, you better be proud of that one, dog. I know you watching, Mercer. Good. Good to get us started. Look at how that Vega frog is just choked on the old Vega. Solid little keeper size fish to get us started anyway. Let's see what I got. I can't even see. Golly. Old frogs out here pulling, 6-inch Vega frog pulling a magic trick this morning, doing a disappearing act on us. That was a violent frog bite, guys. We'll get this fish back in the water. All right, first fish of the day on the 6-inch Vega frog. This is actually one of the last prototype models. I've had this before it was released. I've had this for, it's how durable that 6-inch Vega frog is, man. Really, really good frog, lasts a long time. Obviously good action. You saw that fish come. Hopefully it showed up on the chest camera. It just came completely unglued on this frog right here. But like we said, it's pre-spawn. It's a pre-spawn feed, but with warmer temperatures. So typically pre-spawn, we're thinking about jerk baits and Alabama rigs and jigs, and maybe a trap or a chatterbait if there's grass, which there's obviously hydrilla all around us right now, mixed in with these scattered lily pads that are in here. So great setup in here in this little pocket on Martin Creek. But the thing you got to keep in mind is there are days, especially the really, really bright sunny days, man, the trap and the chatterbait, the typical pre-spawn stuff really works in this grass when it's bright and sunny, or especially if it's cold and post-frontal. Even though the water temps will be higher because this is a heated lake. But when it's overcast and it's warm, you can kind of fish like fall and spring, and these fish will just feed. I mean, it's a pretty interesting dynamic. It's a little bit of a fall feed mixed with a pre-spawn feed, and man, that's two of the biggest feeding periods of the year. Probably the two most biggest feeding periods. I got a frog bite. I can't even speak. Hands are shaking. Man, those frog bites are intense, y'all. I'm just telling you, it shook me up a little bit. Anyways, yeah, it's fall bite, it's pre-spawn bite, it's Power Point Lakes in East Texas. Shh, y'all don't tell nobody. It's top secret. Let's be quiet about it, all right? There we go. A little small pre-spawner. Look at that hydrilla. Love to see that hanging off your fish when you bring them in. That is straight up 100%. It's a little guy. He'd be a keeper in a tournament though, but there you go. He could not wait to get out of here. This, folks, is the best grass for bass fishing in my opinion. Get a good close look at that. That is hydrilla. That's what's under the water out here in front of me. Sometimes it's topping out at the surface, mostly under the water, all over this whole entire pocket out to anywhere, depending on where you're at, from 4 to 6 foot. There's hydrilla everywhere you go. That's something kind of new on Martin Creek. It doesn't always have hydrilla all over. It used to, but here recently hadn't just had hydrilla year in, year out. A couple areas, isolated areas, always seem to have it. This pocket's had it in smaller doses, but boy, this year, man, some of these pockets have really taken off with both lily pad growth and hydrilla. So Martin Creek's in good shape. That one was caught on a chatterbait. Hey, the sun popped out a little bit. Just like I told you, man, those vibrating baits, lipless crankbaits and chatterbaits can be deadly out here, especially when the sun's out here on Martin Creek. Well, I've had a couple now just jerk on that chatterbait and just not quite eat it. There's a couple of them that have done that now. I've tried different colors, messed around throwing different colors. Tried throwing lipless crankbaits of a couple different colors. You seem to want to bite a chatterbait, and a lot of them are just not getting it. I've thrown swim baits. Tried a few different things to get these fish that are just non-committal on this chatterbait to go ahead and bite, but just can't get them to do it. I've had 3 or 4 of them bump it, just not get it. that a big one? Is that a big one? Is that a big one? Yes, it is. That's a darn nice one right there. That's a big one. Old Chatterbait's starting to kick in a little bit for us here on Mark. I'm telling you, it's so much fun this time of year. So much fun this time of year out here on these power plant lakes, guys. And these, like I said, Martin Creek's not the most known one. It probably doesn't have the best population of fish in it. But man, it's pretty darn good, like every other East Texas lake you go to, and they bite in October, November. I mean, we're still in the morning. We didn't start at first light, as you guys saw. It was a little bit on in the morning when we started, and it's just awesome, man. You just come in here, go down the bank, get around this grass, get around these pads, sling you a frog and a chatterbait and a trap, and pretty good times. Little one. Little guy. Just a wee fella. First little guy of the day. It's all right. Hey, baby. Big to small. We'll catch them all. Big bite. I mean, he hit it hard. I don't know if he's little, but that was the strongest bite. He is little. Oh, good. He ain't little. Holy Toledo. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Now maybe I know why I'm getting short struck on my chatterbait out here today. Look at this crappie. That's a pretty big crappie. It's not just huge, but look at the size of the mouth on that crappie. I mean, for a crappie, that's a big mouth. Good night. All right, guys, there's a few catches from Martin Creek. Just fished this one pocket with grass in it. It's all we fish. I mean, Martin Creek's a pretty sizable lake. There's main lake grass. There's a whole lot more here to offer, but I kind of want to show you guys both these lakes today. So we're actually going to go put it on the trailer. It's about late morning right now. We're going to go put it on the trailer, beat feed over to Brandy Branch, and see. I haven't been on Brandy Branch in maybe a year or more, maybe two. I don't know. I honestly could not tell you last time I was on Brandy Branch. I haven't talked to anybody, so we're gonna go over there, start from scratch, and see if we can just find a bite. If we get any bites at all, the lake must be fishing pretty good and pretty simple, because I have no clue what's been happening at Brandy Branch. But let's go see if we can get some pre-spawn bass over there as well. Well, this has been an interesting adventure over here to Brandy Branch. I know you guys haven't seen any fish catches so far, just seen me buzzing around the lake, chunking and whining a little bit. But man, the power plant is not running, and that's normally not a big deal. That happens. I mean, the Martin Creek plant was on this morning. They shut it off midday, no big deal. We still caught some fish, you know, a couple. They shut it off like right after we got there, and we still caught fish. You guys saw that. But it appears to me, based on looking at this lake, that this plant has been offline for some time. The water temperatures on both sides, if you understand Brandy Branch, basically it sits like this, and the power plant's up here, and one side's the cold side and one side's the warm side, and the warm side's always warmer than the cold side, but they're the exact same water temperature within 1/10 of a degree. I don't think they've been running the plant. That also, being a small lake like it is, the water temperature in the low 70s all across the lake. That tells me they basically are running natural temperatures over here. So that whole dynamic that we were speaking about being the best kept East Texas secret of fall bass fishing, not really happening at Brandy Branch. So I kind of got it's fishing often does, folks. I got a little bit of humble pie and a little bit of shock and surprise, and just got thrown a curveball that I wasn't really prepared to deal with. I came over here with only about an hour and a half, 2 hours tops to fish. I've got to go coach a soccer practice this afternoon, as always. 2 days a week I have soccer practice. That's today. So I knew I was taking a little bit of a gamble trying to do this, because I'm a long way from home and I have a limited time that I can be on the water. Brandy Branch appears to be in pretty good shape. The water is extremely clear. The grass is extremely healthy. There's grass all over the lake, extremely healthy. There's some good areas that have good clearance of grass. I just was coming over here expecting these fish to be up on these shallow points doing a pre-spawn thing, eating a chatterbait in the trap like they normally do this time of year out here, or maybe a frog, you know, on the matted areas of grass and on the shoreline. And they weren't doing that at all. And that being the case, with it being fall, these fish could be anywhere. They could be deep, offshore. They could be extremely shallow and just be in any random pocket. If you know, another thing about Brandy Branch is these pockets all have some of the densest timber you'll ever come across. It's very hard to navigate your boat in and out of these pockets with the amount of timber that is in them. So it's not like I can just haul butt through all these pockets, trolling motor on 10 till I find some fish. I just wasn't prepared to deal with a fall bite, a traditional fall bite over here, and it really threw me for a curveball. I kind of stuck to my guns. Plus, I only had an hour and a half, so I stuck to my guns of what I was anticipating happening over here, and I got it wrong, and I did not get a single bite for an hour and a half. And now, unfortunately, well, fortunately and unfortunately, bittersweet, I guess you'd say, it's time for me to wrap this thing up and go coach some soccer. Go yell at some kids for not running fast enough on a soccer field, right? So that's what we're about to do. Really cool, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it opens your eyeballs. Hope it gets you some fun trips. Go take advantage of Martin Creek. I'll try to, you know, fill you guys in. If I'll talk to some guys that are local out here at Brandy Branch, if they start running the plan again and it starts getting going out here, I will let you guys know. But Martin Creek's definitely going. Welsh is definitely going. I've been talking to guys going out there. I've been out there a couple times myself over the last few months. So Welsh is still running the plant, and it's a pre-spawn, and it's in good shape. It's fishing good right now, like you saw Martin Creek is. And just go check it out, because it's a unique opportunity to go to these lakes that are experiencing pre-spawn and fall bites at the same time. Anyhow, I'm beginning to ramble as I always do, so let me wrap it up by saying this. You guys saw me catch a fish on a chatterbait today. You saw me catch a fish on a 6th Vega frog. Hey, I like to throw paddle tail swim baits on my chatterbaits this time of year. I use the Divine swim bait 99% of the time when I'm doing that. You can find the 6th Vega frog and the 6-inch Divine swim bait that I use for a trailer. Also, you can catch fish on these lakes this time of year, especially Welsh and Martin Creek, on the Divine swim bait, just on a straight hook without putting it on the chatterbait as well. Go over to 6centsfishing.com, get you some of those baits or anything you might need. Punch in that code, Your Lake Fork Guide. You'll save 10% on all orders. Also, if you've never been to Lake Welsh or Martin Creek or Brandy Branch and you want to come to them, hey, we have an app package on the Fish Life app premium package list. It's our East Texas Power Plant lakes, and it has those 3 lakes. It's got 20 waypoints across all 3 of those lakes, and these are waypoints that are updated every single month from a guy that's on the water full-time, just like myself. And those waypoints are always going to be current to the month. They're always going to be very precise on location. They're going to tell you what type of area it is, what's in the area, what baits are best to use. I mean, there's just no other information as exact as that. So if you never fished Martin Creek or Brandy Branch or Lake Welsh, or maybe you just want to take a different look at somebody else's perspective from a guy that's on the water week in and week out, man, go subscribe to the Fish Life app, subscribe to the Power Plant Lake Pack, East Texas Power Plant Lake Package, and I guarantee you, you'll be blown away by the type of information that you're going to get on that deal. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching as always, man. I live, even when I come out here and I suck on Brandy Branch for a couple hours, and it's kind of frustrating, I got a big smile on my face at the end of it because I'm doing what I love. You know, other than spending time with my kids, there is nothing on this earth that I would rather be doing than what I just did today. And I only get to do that as often as I do because of all of you guys that watch and subscribe and comment. So just know, man, I appreciate it so greatly. It's why I try to help you guys. I try to expose the secrets, give you guys all the information with the app and everything we can do to help you guys catch more and bigger fish, and we're going to love our fellow man, and that's what we will always do as long as this platform, Your Lake Fork Guide, exists, man. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.